I'm excited, man.
Hello, everybody. We're back here with you for the Expat Hour, your weekly show. My name is Al. I'm here again with Andrew Vasquez, and we're here to discuss the economic ramifications of Donald Trump's tariffs. As we all know, Donald Trump plans to impose a steep cost on products that arrive from abroad, especially China. And other countries will probably retaliate. That will make foreign products much more expensive in the United States, and this will also make it more difficult for American businesses to find their market abroad. This will likely diminish your purchasing power in the United States for the simple reason that you're going to have to pay more for basic necessities, such as fuel, food, automotive parts, all these Chinese electronics that you may buy, and so on and so on. However, these tariffs that Donald Trump imposes will also undermine free trade, thereby making dollars scarce and therefore more valuable and higher priced abroad. So this would mean that although your purchasing power in the United States may diminish, it is probably going to increase abroad. Or at any rate, it's going to diminish less abroad than it would in the United States. Now, Andrew, you've been doing a lot of thinking on that. You've done a lot of research on the nature of these tariffs. And how worried are you about the value of your dollar in the United States?
I'm not worried because I've made preparations. Unfortunately, a majority of the American people have not. In the United States, most people are living $500 away from being out in the streets. Most people don't have the ability to cover a basic $500 emergency that would come up, such as a flat tire, a medical emergency, things of that nature. So, what this is going to mean for the average person is buying power and being able to have a little bit of that wiggle room in your ability to cover the unexpected is going to become substantially more difficult. So, it begs the question for those that are thinking about leaving the United States, is now the right time? I turn that question to you, Al, our subject matter expert.
I think it is definitely the right time. Plan to fail or fail to plan, well, that would mean, well, you'll plan to fail, right? That's what it comes to. So if you don't see the writing on the wall just yet, if you don't see how Trump's tariffs will erode your purchasing power, then I don't know what to tell you. And that is self-evidently true. Yet now we have so many ways to have an income while living away from the United States. Even if you don't have an online business, as I do, well, maybe you're eligible for a pension of some sort. Maybe you already are a homeowner in the United States. If your home is already paid for in full, you just rent it out, and there you go. You will have an income while you live outside of the United States. And keep in mind, you're not even going to need a whole lot of money. Imagine if you're only making $3,000 in whatever way you can, whether it's pension, online business, or homeowners income and so on. This is going to be great. You're going to be in the 98th percentile in most countries or higher. But if you're only making $3,000 in the United States, you're barely middle class in most places. So I'd say act now. Make sure that you don't stick around and wait for the full blowback that's likely to result from Donald Trump's wonderful economic policies.
And Al, what do you say to people that are considering leaving the United States? They're concerned about preserving the buying power of their dollar. They may even have the ability to earn an income online via an online business and or a remote job, but they have a lot of hesitancy about taking those initial steps and going forward with their plan because they don't want to uproot their families. Their families have roots where they've settled. Their kids are going to a particular school. Their in-laws, their relatives, their extended family is all based out of the United States. What do you have to say to those people?
Well, let's keep in mind that we're Americans, that we are from an individualist culture, that we believe that independence strengthens our relationship with our family members and our close friends. So, when I was a young man, my biggest priority was becoming independent of my parents. And that's not to say that my relationship was bad with them. It's just that it got a lot better once they became independent. And why is that? Well, we tend to depend on people less. We tend to be less of a burden on them when we're independent, and then we can act out of goodwill to help them. See, if you want to make your family members happy and proud, the best thing you can show them is that they don't have to worry about you, that you're taking care of yourself. And then if you really have a great relationship with them, you're going to be at liberty to help them because your buying power will be higher abroad. Hell, I mean, if you want to send money back to America to help somebody that is near and dear to you, do it. If you want to spend more time talking to your friends and family, you'll be able to do it, as you will not have to work 60, 70 hours just to get by. See, if you have an online business and live in South America, you can have a much higher standard of living with 20, 30 hours of work a week than you would with 50 or 60 hours in the United States. So your relationships with your friends and family will actually get better, not worse after you expatriate. We live. Uh-huh.
I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
We live in the digital age, so we can easily connect with people in ways that are profound and meaningful at the touch of a button. And don't you forget, in the United States, the discussion that most people dread is the Thanksgiving dinner, because there is some uncle that they disagree with politically. And let's just not kid ourselves. In America, we already struggle with our families. We struggle to build meaningful relationships. And that's what we discussed last time at the Expat Hour, finding a better social life abroad. But I'll tell you something. Once you go abroad, you're not only going to improve your relationship with your family members and friends that you've struggled with, you're also going to meet like-minded expats outside of your home country, and you're probably going to have better relationships with some of the locals, assuming that you take the time to learn the language and adjust their culture.
That's what I love about what it is that you just brought up. I think people forget that with all the money that you will actually be saving by taking your income overseas, you will actually have more disposable income necessary to travel back to the United States on many more occasions, depending on your social situation, depending on how often you want to see loved ones in person. So oftentimes this concern that people bring to us about uprooting their families to another country, a lot of that is really for naught.
See, and you gotta wonder, what are they even worried about losing? We are not Japan. We're not South Korea. Mm-hmm. We're not even a Latin American country where family is everything. Well, one frustrating thing about Paraguay is that young people of my age live with their parents still. And it's not only because they can't launch their lives, or it's not for economic reasons. It's just that they always had such close, intimate bonds with family members. In America, we don't really have that. So Americans move from state to state, no problem, in search for jobs. That's entirely normal and acceptable. So why not just take it a step further and move abroad?
Absolutely. So Al, for any of our potential clients out there that are watching this live stream, how would they go about the initial steps of scheduling a consultation with you for the purpose of talking about finding a country that suits their values, suits their desires, and coming up with a structured plan?
Well, go ahead and click on the description for this video. You're going to see a link where you can book an appointment with us. The first half an hour consultation is free. And then we will come up with a detailed plan as to what your needs are and how we can best help you. So just book your free consultation and we'll take it from there.
And my call to action from members of this audience is as follows. If you have any specific questions about expatriation, if you have any specific questions about how to move overseas, things that you're curious about, any topics that we haven't covered in this video series, I encourage you all to either leave those questions in the comment section below or to send those questions directly to Al so that we can be of direct service to you.
All right. So thank you so much, Andrew, and we'll be in touch. Thanks to everybody for paying attention and sticking with us. You'll be seeing a lot more of us soon. All right. Have a good night.